Welcome to the Marvel Superheroes Rules video. My name is Nelson.
And I'm Serge.
We're here to introduce and explain the new and returning mechanics in the set.
We want to thank our friends over at Judge Foundry for helping sponsor this rules video. If you want to become a judge in the United States or Canada, head to judgefoundry.org to sign up. Just like a superhero's powers develop over time, so too can your board state. Permanents with power-up can become stronger once they've entered the battlefield. A power-up ability is a special kind of activated ability. Power-up means pay the cost for the power-up effect. If this permanent entered this turn, this ability's cost is reduced by the permanent's mana cost. Activate only once. For example, say you want to activate the power-up ability of Aerial Doombot on the turn it enters. Aerial Doombot's power-up ability costs 5 and a blue. Since Aerial Doombot's mana cost is blue, it would reduce the cost to only 5 to activate the power-up ability that turn. Some power-up abilities require targets or have optional targets. If one or more targets are chosen for a power-up ability and all of those targets are illegal as the ability resolves, the ability won't resolve and none of its effect will happen. Unfortunately, it can't be activated again.
Almost every superhero needs a team. Even notorious solo vigilante Moon Knight has the Midnight Mission.
Hold on. When is Moon Knight ever alone? He literally has 3 people in his head. He's a team by himself.
The new teamwork mechanic allows you to tap creatures you control to get additional effects from spells. Teamwork N means, as an additional cost to cast this spell, you may tap any number of creatures you control with total power N or more. If a spell's teamwork cost was paid, the spell is cast using teamwork. You can't pay for a teamwork ability more than once. If you put a permanent with a teamwork ability onto the battlefield without casting it, you can't pay its teamwork cost. If you copy a spell on the stack that was cast using teamwork, the copy was also cast using teamwork. If an effect allows you to cast a spell without paying its mana cost, you can choose to pay optional additional costs, such as teamwork. You can tap any untapped creature you control to pay a teamwork cost, including one with summoning sickness. Tapping an untapped creature that's attacking or blocking to pay a teamwork cost won't cause that creature to stop attacking or blocking.
Another Infinity Stone has appeared. Here's how harnessing Infinity works. Harnessed has no special rules meaning other than being a designation that the Infinity ability can see. Until it's harnessed, the Mind Stone doesn't have the ability listed after the Infinity symbol. It also doesn't have that ability in zones other than the battlefield. Being harnessed isn't copyable. If something else becomes a copy of the Mind Stone, it must be harnessed separately. Similarly, if the Mind Stone is already harnessed and becomes a copy of something else, it stays harnessed, though it's very likely that won't be relevant until that copy effect ends.
It's so satisfying when a returning mechanic gets to come back as a flavor slam dunk. The villains of Marvel superheroes plot and scheme in the shadows with connive. Connive means draw a card, then discard a card. If you discarded a non-land card, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Once an ability that causes a creature to connive begins to resolve, no player may take any other actions until it's done. Notably, opponents can't try to remove the conniving creature after you discard a non-land card, but before it receives a +1/+1 counter. If a resolving spell or ability instructs a specific creature to connive, but that creature has left the battlefield, the creature still connives, so you'll still draw and discard. If you discard a non-land card this way, you won't put a +1/+1 counter on anything. Abilities that trigger whenever a creature you control connives will trigger.
Appropriate for a set filled with people who have secret identities, that modal double face cards return. Modal double face cards in Marvel superheroes can be cast as either face from your hand and also have the ability to transform. Each face of a modal double face card has its own set of characteristics: name, type, subtype, ability, and so on. While the double face card is on the stack or battlefield, consider only the characteristics of the face that's currently up. In any zone other than the stack or the battlefield, consider only the characteristics of the front face. Each double face card has an icon in the top left corner of each face. For the modal double face cards in the set, these icons are a single black triangle for the front face and a double white triangle for the back face. The mana value of a modal double face card is based on the characteristics of the face that's being considered. If an effect instructs a player to choose a card name, the name of either face may be chosen. If that effect or a linked ability refers to a spell with the chosen name being cast, it considers only the chosen name, not the other face's name. If an effect allows you to put a card with a particular characteristic onto the battlefield without instructing you to play or cast it, consider only the characteristics of a modal double face card's front face to see if that card qualifies. If it does, it enters the battlefield with its front face up. To determine whether it's legal to play a modal double face card, consider only the characteristics of the face you're playing and ignore the other face's characteristics.
That's it for the rules. Thanks again to Judge Foundry for sponsoring this video.
And thanks for watching.